Now, food for thought. What does Warlock and David Lynch have in common? Nothing at all, but I did hook you in, didn't I? However, Terminator and Warlock has a lot of things in common. Let's begin with Terminator. Two main enemies from the future meet each other in the 80s to be able to find a plot point that could kill the world. Let's take a look at Warlock. Two enemies from the past face each other in the 80s to be able to find a plot point that could mean the end of the world. Wow, sounds very similar to me. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Everything begins in the past, also known as modern-day Lapland. Richard E. Grant plays the hero of the movie, known as the witch hunter Redfern, and Julian Sands stars as the evil Warlock, who has severe back pain. Since this movie could not afford a DeLorean, they need another plot twist to turn them back into the future, and that is the storm. Or it could be Taz. Julian Sands crashes into the living room of Cassandra, a hot broad together with her gay roommate, who I only refer to as gay guy because I don't think they actually call him something. Honestly though, this is a pretty accurate presentation of a normal average dude. I would love to see how the movie would have progressed with him, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna see him again. Cassandra drives off and whoa! She's a futuristic cyborg! Just look at that lab coat! As I said before, the gay guy is being wasted by Warlock in a deadly kiss manner. After giving that tongue-twisting sequence, the Warlock disappears into a fortune teller who is definitely faking everything.
Out of me! What thou wilt!
Until the Warlock's dad pops up, and he's so embarrassing.
The one begotten Son.
Hang on a second, wasn't there some sort of a witch hunter in this movie? Oh, there he is. That's pretty awkward. Where the hell was he? Redfern pops up and starts to talk to Cassandra about the Warlock. She just thinks it's all bogus and hocus pocus, whatever the fuck that means. So she calls in the cops, who basically takes him down. Not too wise, because Warlock shows up soon and whoopsie daisy, now she got a curse on her. Because Warlock didn't want to kill her and he wanted to give the audience a plot point. The plot point is actually really surprisingly well performed, because the curse he gave to Cassandra is that she ages by 20 years for every day that passes. It's not a bad curse actually, but he gets some issues because now she's sort of forced to hunt after him with Redfern. So yeah, that was not a good idea by Warlock. He may have supernatural powers, but he's not too bright. So Redfern and Cassandra goes after the Warlock, but what is Warlock doing? Is he just gonna go on a killing rampage for no reason? No, he does actually have an ultimate goal, and it's not a bad one either. The plot point that he is looking for is the Book of Shadows, an anti-Bible that can turn everything to ashes if it's used properly. He's looking for the 3 parts to reunite this Bible, and yeah, that is actually a pretty impressive plot, I have to tell you that. Sadly, the final act of this movie is very weak. It's all talking, it's all looking, it's all talking, it's all the Warlock can be on this airplane, and then they go on for 5 minutes looking for the Warlock, but they can't find him because he's hiding. It's stuff like that that really annoys me because it feels dragged out. We already had that in the beginning of the movie, we don't need to see it again. It feels like we could have built it up to a final confrontation that could have lasted a bit longer. However, I have to say that the final act in the cemetery is amazing. Not so much because of the fighting, because it's actually rather weak, but it does have some interesting gothic elements to it, like a holy ground and a grave that has mysterious secrets hiding within it. Stuff like that that really gives me the chills. Also, truth to be told, it looks pretty good to be a night shot. I mean, the lighting and setting is actually really interesting and it gets me going. Warlock has some very cool visual effects to it. Everything from fire. Or maybe that's an energy beam, I'm still not sure what is going on, but I do like it. And then we have a flying sequences. Oh Superman, where are you now? Did something go wrong somehow? Oh my god, look at him falling down. Ouch, that really gotta hurt. He was falling as fast as a feather. Something that Warlock for some reason reminds me of is that movies today needs more music videos. Remember the music videos for Nightmare on Elm Street? They were cheesy, wasn't they? We need stuff like that again. And Warlock is definitely one of a few films that did actually deserve to get a music video, but as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing out there. I'm sorry to say, but Jerry Goldsmith, he was pretty lazy when making the music for this movie. It's so dull and boring and slow paced, and it doesn't go anywhere, just the movie did spawn 2 sequels, and I've seen them both. The Armageddon is actually not a bad idea, because it has some sort of a cult, ritual thing going on, with people who's trying to protect the world from a warlock and protect these mysterious gems that it's looking for. It's not a bad story, I actually found it rather entertaining. It did, however, have a very weak ending, and I think that the first movie was the better of both of them. Then we have the third movie, End of Innocence. What happens if you shoot a film and you decide, hey, wait a minute, we can just flop in the Warlock in this movie and hope that things work? That is basically what they did with this film. It has something to do with a haunted house, and I hate it. It's awful. The only good thing about this movie that saves it from being one of the worst movies I've seen is that the guy who plays Warlock is actually doing a good presentation. Not as good as Julian Sands, but it nevertheless is trying to do something special with the character, trying to move on with the legacy. I like that. It took his role very serious and actually managed to do something from it. Also, what kind of house is that? Looks like a fucking brick. Anyways, what do I think about the original Warlock that we're talking about today? Well, I think it's a good movie, and I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. I actually find it solid, despite its problems. It's not a movie that I'm gonna see again, I think, but it's an interesting picture nevertheless, and I do actually recommend watching it. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.